Let's share adventures with Gary and Paul with everybody, shall we?
That's right. That's our way to get through the pandemic, right? We're trying to bring a little bit of entertainment to your lives right now.
This is our passion pandemic project. This is what we're doing with our time. We're going to look back on these days, Paul. I believe I can already see the future. We're going to look back on these days, if we survive. There's always that possibility. But if we all survive, we're going to look back and we're going to say, hey, we used our time and we did something outside of our comfort zone, something new, something that involved other people and brought people together and maybe made people a little bit happier.
You grew up with comic books. You grew up with all the great ads in there, right? I mean, like things like remember where you can get all the gadgets like the X-ray glasses and
Oh,
things
that's
like
the
that.
first thing I remember is the X-ray glasses.
What do you remember about the X-ray glasses?
Well, there was a guy with a cartoon of a guy with in some of the early ads, he had his hand and he was seeing bones, because it was all cartoon. It was not a photograph. Mm-hmm. He was looking at he was wearing the glasses and he's looking at his hand and he sees, a hand of bones. And then I remember another X-ray glasses one, and he's looking at a girl in a skirt, and he can see through the skirt with these glasses. I wonder which ad sold more glasses, more X-ray glasses.
Yeah, wonder. Do you remember this ad?
Oh, sea monkeys. Yes, this was in every comic book for a while, and this is the most misleading ad of all time.
Apparently they were brine shrimp.
That's exactly what they are. They're brine shrimp. We used to raise brine shrimp because
Really?
we used to have, first of all, I grew up in a menagerie of different kinds of animals growing up. We had not just one bird, different kinds of birds. We had all kinds of fish, saltwater, freshwater. We had all kinds of reptiles, snakes and lizards and turtles. We had dogs and cats and sheep and chickens and burros and mules and a horse.
Burros?
Oh my gosh, the animals got big. Once we moved to Arizona, the animals started getting big.
Wow.
We raised brine shrimp because we also raised saltwater seahorses. Those seahorses ate brine shrimp, so we raised brine shrimp.
Okay.
It was years later that we got sea monkeys, and what a disappointment to see brine shrimp.
May 16th is National Sea Monkey Day.
They got a day. What a strong lobby the sea monkeys must have. They must have lobbied Washington, D.C. for years to get their own official day.
I was part of the lobby that tried to make Major League Baseball opening day a national holiday.
Okay.
I was actually very active in trying to get this made a national holiday. But how did the sea monkeys get their own day?
They got a strong lobby, that's all I can say. And they got a good advertising agency. But they do not have a roster of satisfied customers. Let's talk about this Myers-Briggs personality test. And we're going to just take a look at just how accurate it is. Mm-hmm. We took the test this afternoon, and I am an ENFJ. And
That's
what
right.
what are you?
I'm an INTJ. When I first started getting into Star Trek, and I was really fascinated with the Spock character. Here I'm using the word fascinated, right? I was very fascinated with the Spock character because he was able to control his emotions. But I remember one of the things he said, pain is a thing of the mind can be controlled.
I didn't see that episode, but I've had a thought about pain. Somebody looks at you and you're in pain. The only way they would know it is if you told them, right?
Right.
That's the only way they would know it. Pain is so individual that we really can control, I guess, how people perceive us by how we conceal or reveal our pain. Mm-hmm. If I had a toothache, nobody would know it unless I told them. And what benefit would it be to telling somebody unless they're a dentist?
Your personality type, which is the ENFJ, right?
Yes.
In this book that
Oh my God, this is for dating?
for dating, yeah, love types discover your romantic style.
So everything is going to be sort of through that filter, right? It's
Right.
going to be. So do you have a
the
definition?
the title of your love type is the growth teacher.
Is there a description? Does it give like a little paragraph?
If you are a growth teacher, there's usually
Apparently.
one thing on your mind: relationships. Your ability to create and sustain meaningful and loving relationships is an integral part of your happiness or lack thereof.
Ooh.
You place a great value on developing quality relationships and making sure they are always improving.
That's true. I resonate with that.
Mm-hmm.
I like mine. This is kind of like a horoscope where they write it so really it could apply to anybody. But that did particularly resonate with me. Okay, let's see how yours works.
They've called my personality style the expert.
Ooh.
A couple years ago, there was a Myers-Briggs meme going around which applied all of the 16 personality types to a Star Wars character.
Oh, that's fun.
And do you know who I got?
Who'd you get?
I got Emperor Palpatine.
I would have never said Emperor Palpatine.
This calls me the expert. In that meme, they called him the mastermind.
Ooh.
Now that that kind of resonates a little bit. If you are an expert,
Okay.
you are the most independent and strong-willed, some might say stubborn, of all the love types. Once you make up your mind to do something, whether it's starting or ending a relationship or anything in between, you will do what you want to do.
This is you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And God help anyone who tries to dissuade you. Well, yeah, that is me.
Wow, Paul.
Yeah, that is me.
That nails it.
That does nail me.
Now that makes the one that they wrote for me seem a lot less like a horoscope and a lot more like this is really based on science.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I found a website that does pretty well the same thing as that book that you have there. The website is called Crystal Knows. It's Crystal with a C. Crystal Knows.
Nose, was that with a K or an N-O-S-E?
That's funny, Paul. That's good. So it's Crystal Knows with a K.
Okay. I just totally derailed you there, didn't I?
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, this website actually allows you to pull in two personality types and then compare them to each other.
Okay.
But first, let me tell you what it says about the types. First, let me tell you about you.
Okay.
The INTJ personality type, they call you the intellectual.
Ooh.
A similar concept, right, to the other one. People with an INTJ personality type tend to be confident, analytical, and ambitious in their behavior. They love to pursue knowledge and tend to be very logically minded. They are independent thinkers focused on solving the world's problems. Dude, that's you.
Well, I don't know if I'm focused on solving the world's problems, but I think the rest of it rings pretty true.
I do too. What about me? What about an ENFJ personality type?
Let's see what it says about you.
First of all, we're called the advocate. Isn't that interesting?
I've heard that term before.
The advocate.
The advocate.
Here we go. People with an ENFJ personality type tend to be warm, genuine, and empathetic in their behavior. They are persuasive and often use their gifts to help guide people toward a better life. They thrive in groups and love to build connections with others. Paul, that is so me.
That is you.
This show is such a combination. The whole idea behind our little show together is such a combination of our two Myers-Briggs personality types. That's amazing.
I would agree with that.